Welcome back, guys. Took a little bit of a break from this car. Not like I kind of was waiting on parts, but I really wasn't. Dave was kind enough to give me the stock crank and stock rods out of a 6.2 that he had that he just pulled apart to put a forged rotating assembly in. So he had that motor, 60,000 miles on it. He's like, I got this, sweet, I'll take it. Saves me some money and time trying to source stuff. Where are we? So I got the cam. We're changing cams. I got a Brian Tooley Stage 3 twin turbo cam now. We're putting stock crank, stock rods, stock pistons back in it. And we're going to eliminate the oil cooler. We're going to keep the clear view, eliminate the oil cooler. We are going to change the tune. We're going to take all the timing out of it and see what happens, and fingers crossed. Nobody can come up with a definite answer. There's nothing out there that's telling us, hey, you doing this caused this, which caused that. There's none of that. There's a lot of speculations, a lot of guesses, people throwing shots in the dark. What I find kind of weird is people throwing out causes without even watching the videos because their causes are just crazy. I broke a built motor. It had forged rods and pistons. Stronger rods aren't going to help it. I did the same thing with forged rods. Did the same thing with stock rods. Coincidentally, I went faster on a stock bottom end motor than I did a built motor. And the built motor had, which was weird because we went 155 with the built motor at 30 pounds of boost. We went 167 at 24 pounds of boost. So either this thing is making a whole lot more power, or that thing was way down on power. People are like, oh, did you check the timing on the new motor? It wouldn't matter. You have to remember that we hurt 2 engines in 6 passes. 2 completely different engines. So if I didn't check timing on this, and that was the cause, and that was the first time it happened, okay. But timing was verified on the other motor. You gotta remember there's 2 engines with the same exact problem. We're coming to the conclusion, not a conclusion, it's a hypothesis. Is that the right word? I've been out of high school a long time. That with the Brian Tooley Stage 2 turbo cam, with the flat top pistons, the 862 heads, and the twins with that tune-up in it, it was a perfect storm at, 5,000 RPMs. It's a lot of cylinder pressure, considering it's got a pretty high compression motor to begin with, because it's probably close to 10.8. It's got flat tops and 862s, the smallest chambers you can get with the flat tops. I don't know. We're not 100% sure. So we're going back. We're going to put it down to like 10 degrees of timing, and we're going to run the same 24 pounds and see what happens. A couple little tricks we're going to do that I didn't know about until I was told is I got to drill holes in these for oil drain back. Each side, 1/2-inch holes, because this is a restriction apparently. We got new main bearings, we got new rod bearings, we got new bearing. I sent out the injectors to Big Mike. He flowed them. He goes, yep, they look exactly the same as they did before. So that's not it. Contamination? No, guys, it's not contamination. If I threw gravel in there, maybe. A couple pieces of specks of dirt isn't going to wreck a motor in 2 passes. And again, the other motor never came apart. Let's move on from it. I've hurt 2 engines. I'm not happy about it. It is expensive. Drag week is lingering right now, whether I'm going to make it or not, I don't know. Honestly, even if the car comes out, it's almost August, it's still July. We hurt the other motor mid-August before drag week. We got it together, we got in the car, we placed 3rd in drag week in our class. It can be done. My problem is I've used up all my gas money to put 2 motors in this car. So I gotta be able to see if I can save $2,000 in the next 6 weeks. If you guys need any Team Z parts, hit me up. If you guys need Maven Performance parts, hit me up. And that's still dependent on this motor lasting. We think we know. We think we're gonna get it figured out this time. I don't know. So we're gonna put the main bearings in today. We're gonna measure the clearances with some plastic gauge. It's not the best, but I can't bring myself to spend the hundreds of dollars on tools right now because I don't have the money. One day, I will have the money and I will buy the correct tools. We're going back with the same bearings again, the clevets, nothing wrong with them. We will overcome this. I can't quit. What am I gonna do? Sell it all? I've said this before. There's really nothing to do but keep forging on. I mean, the upside is it's not a small block Ford and costs me $15K every time this happens. So that's the upside to going with LS stuff. It's cheap. Oh, a small block Ford won't do that. Yeah. And if I were to do anything, it'd be a Coyote car. I got nothing against a Coyote besides the way all motor ones sound. Cut that shit out. If you got an all motor Coyote, put the stock exhaust back on because it sounds like diarrhea. I just don't like Coyote prices. If anybody wants to ship me like a Gen 2 Coyote engine for like 500 bucks, maybe I'll tear this LS out over the winter and stick a Coyote in it instead. Alright, well, fast forward. I didn't finish it up that day. I started recording. But today's Saturday. Dave's up here. We got the crank in, measured the mains with plastic gauge, which always reads low, and they're all like 20-ish thou. So if you know anything about plastic gauge, 2 to 4 thou off. So gotta be. Oh, that's old. Ooh. Gotta be somewhere in the range. Rods are like, that's nice, rear gasket, like 18 to 20 thou, depending. We got rods and pistons in. This motor turns over really nice, better than the last one, I think. Stick the new cam in it. Stage 3 twin turbo cam now. Clean it off and then lubriderm it, and
she goes.
And it goes.
All the way. All the lube.
Alright. So, new, bigger cam is in. Pushes the power band way up. And, short runner manifold, taller cam. You're going to definitely rev a little higher this time. Always keep your cam box in case you sell it, because that just came in handy because I just sold my last one. I didn't want to sell it. I ain't got no fucking money. No, because I don't have any money. Forgot, trying not to swear. I'm gonna have to edit that out. So I was able to have it and ship it out, which paid for 90% of this cam. Got it from my boy Scotty Wheels. He got it for me fast. Alright. Got a GM freaking mechanic here for the dealer, and he's already doing this wrong.
Here, you need this first.
Yeah, what do you think you forgot? Yeah, GM mechanic here. I feel bad for you guys to bring your trucks to the dealer.
No, stop it. I haven't forgotten one yet.
Except just now.
You don't.
Except for right now?
Yeah, you don't count. This is not a paid job.
This is paid in pain, anguish. I'm gonna wipe that too.
I want the backside. I don't care about the front side.
I do if there's metal in it.
Oh, well, yeah, metal. Hi, doggy.
Hi, Baba. What do you got?
Slinky dog.
You got Slinky Dog. Come here. All right. Next day. Jumped ahead a little bit. We finished up late last night. I think I got the motor hung in here about 9:30. The motor seems to turn over really nice. I like how there's no really fight to turn it over. We're working on it. As you can see, getting the wiring laid back out. One manifold can stay on the engine when it's out, in and out. This one cannot. The way I have the collector, it hits the motor plate flange. So that has to come out whenever the motor comes out. That's not a big deal. Got everything underneath done. Bell housing bolts, converter bolts, starter wiring, crank sensor, alternator wiring, all that's done underneath. I'm leaving it up on stands a little bit. Just makes it easier to do the up pipes and oil lines. So I'm gonna cut my oil lines down, and we're gonna eliminate the oil cooler for right now. All right, so we're just gonna, it's gonna feed in down through the filter and back out to the turbos and everything. I was gonna eliminate the clear view just so we could start at scratch, but then I have nowhere to get my oil feed for my turbos. So we're gonna leave that. I don't think the clear view is the problem. I don't think the dash 10 lines are the problem. I honestly don't even think the oil cooler, I don't think it's an oiling issue. I don't know. I just simply don't know. We're gonna continue moving on, start getting everything hooked up. Hopefully I can fire this thing by the end of the day and be happy. Fingers crossed. Let me tell you, when I say I am 100% nervous about not firing it, it never had a problem just driving. It's only when we really started getting after it hard is when it turned into an issue. That's why I don't think it's an oiling issue. I think it just might be, like I said many of times already, the twins, that cam, that tune-up. I'm also gonna not use pump E85 next time. We've seen a pretty good fluctuation in the content, so I'm gonna pick up some VP X85 from Scotty Wheels, just to eliminate another issue. We were going through the logs, and there was at some points where we saw like 59% content. Is that causing an issue? Not, I don't know. It seems very low, so we'll see. All right, I'm gonna get back to this, start hammering more out. Not gonna bore with you because you could literally go back 3 videos and see all this, so we'll come back when I'm much further along. All right, we jumped way ahead. We're filling it up with oil. We'll load a new tune in it. I've already checked for fuel leaks. No fuel leaks. I don't have water in it. I gotta go buy a couple gallons of distilled. I only have 1. Meant to get it when I ran out before. I got a dipstick tube in it. I broke my dipstick tube trying to put it back in. Apparently it's a Hummer H3 dipstick tube. Not a Camaro one, which I went and bought, and is too freaking long, so I can't read my oil. But I know how much to put in. I took the cooler off, clear views on. I made a whole new oil line for that, for the return. So, you know, if I put the cooler back on, I have the hose. All I gotta do is mount it and replumb it and call it a day. Well, I usually run 8.5 quarts before the clear view. I know the filter I have on there holds a 1/2 quart. I'm gonna say 1/2 to 3/4 of a quart, if not more, in the line. I'm gonna dump 9.5 quarts in it. This is some cheap crap oil. Just some cheap oil that I'm gonna run for 20-30 minutes and dump out. And just flush it out. Just honestly, just to get everything through the oil system. Just to try to get any remaining, you know, particles and all that junk out. And then I'll fill it up with some good oil and drive it a little bit and then dump that and go through a lot of oil really quickly. I've gone through 10, 20, 30, 40 quarts of oil in a couple of weeks. It's not fun. It ain't cheap either. And I don't even use like high-end good oil. Like if you put like HPL or Schaefer's or something like that, I mean, you're like 150 for an oil change. Let's light it up and see what happens. That does not sound good. So I got 2 dead holes. 8, 5. I don't know why. I think I've narrowed it down to bad injectors. Got it tore apart. I swapped coils. The mist, it's a dead hole. They didn't move. It's a nightmare to take the injectors out of this thing. You can see the valve cover off to get the fuel rails off. So I tested, you know, they just got an M12 battery with some things. I tested this, it clicked like 3 or 4 times and it let out some nasty crap. I'll put a picture in. And now it don't click anymore. I tested more. I'll show you. I'll just test another one. There you can see that coming out on the bench. But it's crystal clear. Crystal clear brake cleaner. Now, I don't know. What I'm gonna do is I just ordered, Dave has a set of Holley 160s. I'm gonna stick those in. He had them on his car. He knows they're good. He just flowed them and tested them and everything. I'm gonna stick those in. I still have my adapters from the high ram, so I just put those on the deads just to hold it, because the Holley 160s are tall. I'm gonna give him those and be like, hey, just flow these to see if they work. Do something. What's going on here? But the amount of crap that just came out of those is like, okay. You know, that would explain 2 dead holes if there's 2 bad injectors. I don't know, but it's kind of weird, kind of suspect. I literally just got him back from Big Mike and he said everything is good. So, I don't know. What's really annoying is this goddamn fitting's loosening up. I'll take it back apart and see what the hell is going on here. You know, maybe I got 2 bad injectors and the problem rods got 2 bad rods. You know, I had the problem with 2 sets of bearings. Was I having a fuel injector issue? I don't know. Did we just find? Sorry, it looks like got a little glare on there. Did we just find the problem? I don't know. Got me. I'd be happy if we did. Granted, injectors are stupid expensive now. But, you know, I could use Dave's for the rest of this season. He's not even gonna put him in his car. He's got some big boy 600s or some dumb shit like that now. Monsters. Called up my buddy Dave and got his injectors, his injector harness. He runs this right here is why I have a Holly in my car, because my buddy who I race with and who tunes my car has a Holly in his car. Because now I can borrow his injectors and I can borrow his harness because it's different plugs than my harness, and just plug it in, hit the drop down menu, and it's good to go. These are Holly 160s, low impedance. Yeah, I'm waiting on O-rings. I don't know why, these O-rings look like they're pretty good shape. Oh, I ordered O-rings and screens. Oh, that one feels kind of crappy. Screens from Racetronics last night. Supposedly in stock. I overnighted them, or next day aired them, whatever. Yeah, that's gonna work. Well, I got the dual injector manifold, and I was running these short boys in there for the 210s, and I had the adapter hats I ran with the high ram. I guarantee these short ones suck on that thing. So I was going to buy long ones to fit the long injector. So this is the tall injector, that's a short injector, see? And I'm like, what? Just take my adapter. All this is doing is sealing up the chamber in the intake manifold. There we go. What I gotta do is I gotta stick these in the rail, which I hate, and see if I can, yeah, it goes this way. See if this all fits up against the intercooler with the harness, because he has adapters on it, because he accidentally bought the wrong come on dummy, get it out, injector harness. So he got like these little adapter plugs. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if that O-ring is bad up here on the dummy. It's literally just holding it down into the intake manifold. So there's a touch of a difference. I'm not sure if that's going to matter. This is what I got to check. Alright, so little hiccup, which, you know, nothing new anymore. Nothing fits. I go to put the fuel rail in, bolts don't go through it. Okay, take it back apart. Injector hats, adapter jammies here are too long. This is taller than this. I was hoping there'd be enough room in there, but this is why I say having the right tools and enough ambition, make anything work, right? So what I did was I cut this part off, just the flat part, and allows this to sit closer, and then I welded it together. Now I wouldn't have needed to weld this together because there's nothing going on here. So I could have just cut it. My fear was taking this thing apart, you're gonna have all these pieces, extra pieces together, you know, don't want, let's say I have to, for whatever reason, take this apart at night on drag week. I don't want to have to chase 4 little pieces, you know what I'm saying? So everything's welded together, nicey nice now. You know, it might have taken me 20 minutes to clean face and fit up and weld and everything. Those 4. Oh crap. I'm just happy I had a TIG. So that looks much better. Still waiting on my parts, but like I said, I think I can fit my thing in now. My valve covers. So, see if these bolts go right in. Yeah, boy. Much, much, much nicer. Where's the stupid thing? Yeah. All right, we're here the next day. I hear fuel leaking. That's cool. Things are not going well, to say the least. So the new injectors, seals and crap came in. Oh, I probably forgot to fucking tighten this because do you think I forgot to tighten this? I've been searching for that wrench and this flashlight. Alright, let's try that again. So, as I was saying, all the new little baskets and stuff, I put it in, go to put my fuel lines on, they're too short now. So I have to make new ones, front and back. The crossover ones, not like front to back of car, crossover ones, because the fuel rails are now wider. Give this a couple. Oh, hit my trans brake. Make sure there's no other fuel leaking anywhere. We don't want a fire. Alright, because I opened all the filters trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I never ever start my car in the garage when it's all been apart. Just, God forbid, there's a freaking fire or something. It doesn't burn my house down too, you know? Alright. I guess it's okay. Let's see if it'll freaking fire. push it outside. I gotta check the water pump and fan settings. But sounds pretty healthy. I'm kind of happy with it. Oh, come back. Third time's a charm. Hopefully we found the issue with it now. Hopefully it was the injectors. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna let this thing run, get up to temp, let it run for a good amount of time, dump the oil filter, get the good oil in it, and put my street tires back on it and get some miles on this thing. And you know, drive this thing for a week or two. Hopefully it doesn't rain and be real shitty so I can drive it and get some miles on it. And then hit the track and pray. We got like 43 days to drag week. So if we go to the track and we make a couple solid licks in the 850 range, because we're not going to try to push it. Like I want 7s, but we'll wait till the fall for that. Get 850s. I think 20 pounds of boost will go 850s with a 1.260. And fingers crossed, everything's good with the motor. And then I'll see everybody at drag week. So get in your garage. It's hot, I'm tired. Grab a cold drink. I'm gonna go cook some dinner. Get to work on your hot rod. Have a good one, guys.